Against the backdrop of the global health crisis, let's revisit a series of events concerning the World Health Organization (WHO). Do you recall that the first to criticize the WHO was Dr. Yan? She conducted a 4-hour interview on Fox News, but only 14 minutes were made public. At that time, the 14 minutes did not even touch upon the issue of the virus's origin. On July 10, the discussion was about the WHO assisting the CCP in covering up Dr. Yan's laboratory at the University of Hong Kong, which served as a reference laboratory for the WHO. Media back then called the press, and public opinion focused on exposing the actions of the CCP. Now at the congressional level, it's about law and legislation. However, as of today, observing the ongoing congressional investigations, it is evident that law and legislation are the decisive factors. While you engage in information warfare, deploy internet trolls against Dr. Yan and the rule of law society, and muddy the waters, in the end, what matters is the legal and legislative process. The congressional discussions on this issue illustrate the strength of the U.S. system. In Congress, diverse perspectives are fully expressed, leading to a comprehensive legislative process. Unlike the CCP, the United States is not a system where a single leader can unilaterally decide affairs. It is a system governed by procedures and legal provisions. Separation of powers in the United States ensures a balance of power, with a range of procedures in place, whether in the presidency, Congress, or the Supreme Court, to ensure the legitimate exercise of power. The focus shifts from media and public opinion to the legal and legislative stage. I want to emphasize that the information war is just one aspect. The ultimate decision lies in the processes of law and legislation. Congress's discussion of this issue reflects the power of the American system. In Congress, everyone has the opportunity to exercise power for a certain period, ensuring a rotation process. Even if not re-elected, a person still holds power in consign laws. This is in stark contrast to the CCP's notion of perpetual stability in leadership. The non-re-election of someone like Dr. Winstrup does not mean a halt to the virus origin investigation, as the U.S. has institutional mechanisms to ensure the continuity of work. The rotation process in the U.S. allows individuals to exercise power temporarily, and even a one-day president can enact significant changes in society through legislation. This is the essence of the U.S. system, different from the CCP's perspective. In the context of U.S.-China relations, the United States is comprehensively addressing the threat posed by the CCP to national security. The tension expressed by the CCP is evident in Ambassador Kui Jinkai's complaint that the United States cannot put everything into national security, indicating that the CCP has sensed U.S. countermeasures to its actions. Many things mentioned by the rule of law society may have significant consequences for the CCP if not treated carefully. In the future, what does precious stone mean? What about homeland security? What about national security? In this context, the United States must formulate a new strategy, placing national security, economic security, and values at the core of U.S.-China relations. The U.S. has recognized that the CCP poses a threat to its national security, not necessarily a direct threat to U.S. homeland security. Is in the case of the Soviet KGB, the CCP's goal is a complete and thorough subversion of the entire U.S. system. The true meaning of U.S. national security involves the maintenance of the constitutional governance and the entire societal system. The U.S. has realized that the CCP poses a genuine threat to its rule of law and order. We've previously discussed the concept of the rule of law. The rule of law is the international order implemented by the United States after World War I, ensuring that no one, the other president or from any country, can act arbitrarily. Absolute adherence to the law is mandatory, and no one can enjoy any form of lawlessness. The law must be followed and there must be full debate. You can argue in court and then a democratic jury decides. This is the fundamental fundamental basis of the U.S. order, because the entire society and system built upon such cases as a foundation. It involves a full debate, public opinion, media coverage and the open exchange of ideas, followed by evidence gathering according to procedures. This is the U.S. order, not the CCP's notion of power enjoying dividends. Even if you're president for just today, you can influence and change the world by signing laws. You need freedom and an independent investigative process. You must follow the rules and not resort to illegitimate means. The final judgment is made by Congress or the Supreme Court, a democratic manifestation. The CCP in China want to destroy this. They want to subvert this. In the end, we must understand how the U.S. rule of law order is established. The rule of law means following rules, full debate, trial procedures and a final democratic decision. The CCP is attempting to subvert this order, aiming to establish a system where only a few will never be held accountable. This goes against the principles of the U.S. rule of law. The true meaning of U.S. national security involves not only individual safety, but also the preservation of the entire constitutional order. It requires a society that is free and independent, capable of free debate, trial and judgment. The CCP has realized that the U.S. is taking comprehensive countermeasures, posing a significant threat to them. The U.S. emphasizes the importance of national security, economic security, and the rule of law to ensure the safety of the Constitution and the system. This is not just about the safety of individual leaders or politicians, it's about the safety of the entire national system and constitutional order. A CCP is attempting to subvert precisely disorder that the U.S. holds dear. In the face of the threat posed by the CCP to the U.S. rule of law,